Meet the man shaking up West Africa. Captain Ibrahim Traore, the fearless leader of Burkina Faso, is sparking heated debates and raising eyebrows globally. With his unapologetic stance against colonial legacy and his unwavering commitment to African unity, Traore is redefining what it means to be a leader. But there's more to him than meets the eye. Behind the charisma and confidence lies a complex figure, stirring both admiration and controversy. So, what's really going on? Why does Captain Traore bother so many people? Let's dive in and uncover the truth behind the headlines. One of the most significant factors contributing to the controversy surrounding Captain Traore is his unapologetic stance against French influence in Africa. For centuries, France has maintained a strong presence in its former colonies, often through economic and military means. Traore's vocal criticism of this dynamic has resonated with many Africans who feel that their continent is still subject to external control. For instance, Traore has been critical of the CFA franc, a currency used by several West African countries that is pegged to the euro and controlled by the French treasury. He argues that this arrangement limits the economic sovereignty of African nations and perpetuates a form of neocolonialism. As a Pan-Africanist, Traore advocates for African autonomy and self-determination, believing that the continent's future should be shaped by Africans themselves, rather than external powers. This ideology challenges the legacy of colonialism, which has had a profound impact on Africa's economic, cultural, and political landscape. Traore's stance has sparked intense debate, with some viewing him as a champion of African freedom and others seeing him as a divisive figure. His critics argue that his rhetoric could lead to instability and damage relationships with important international partners. For example, some have accused him of being anti-French rather than pro-African, and of failing to recognize the complexity of international relationships. On the other hand, his supporters believe that Africa must assert its independence and take control of its own destiny. They point to examples such as the growing presence of China in Africa, which they see as a potential alternative to traditional Western powers. They argue that Traore's leadership style and ideology are necessary to challenge the status quo and promote African interests. By challenging the status quo, Traore is sparking crucial conversations about Africa's future and its place in the world. As the continent continues to evolve, it's clear that Traore's ideology will play a significant role in shaping the discussion. The question remains, will his approach lead to greater autonomy and prosperity for Africa, or will it create new challenges and instability? Captain Traore's government has introduced several economic and social reforms aimed at reducing foreign influence and promoting local industries. One of the key initiatives is the nationalization of strategic sectors, such as mining and energy. For instance, Traore's government has renationalized gold mines. The benefits of this includes greater control over natural resources. Burkina Faso government can better manage their natural resources, ensuring that the benefits are shared fairly among citizens. Increased revenue. Nationalization can lead to higher revenue for the government, which can be invested in public services and infrastructure. Promoting local economic growth. By controlling key sectors, governments can stimulate local economic growth, create jobs, and develop domestic industries. The government has also prioritized growing of local industries, particularly in sectors like agriculture, by supporting local farmers, improving productivity, and increasing food security. For example, They've introduced initiatives to provide farmers with access to modern farming techniques, equipment, and markets. Manufacturing by promoting local manufacturing industries, including textiles, food processing, and construction materials. This could create jobs and stimulate economic growth. Entrepreneurship by encouraging entrepreneurship and small business development, particularly among young people. This could help create new opportunities and drive innovation. Some specific examples of local industry growth include textile production. This investment is done to reduce reliance on imported clothing and promote domestic industry. Local food processing industries development to add value to agricultural products and create jobs. Construction materials. Promotion of local production of construction materials, such as cement and bricks, to support infrastructure development. Traore's government is also working to reduce foreign influence and promote economic self-sufficiency. Some specific examples of breaking free from foreign influence include control over natural resources, renationalizing gold mines and other strategic sectors to give Burkina Faso greater control over its natural resources. Economic diversification, promoting economic diversification to reduce dependence on a single industry or export commodity. Local decision-making, encouraging local decision-making and reducing reliance on external actors to shape Burkina Faso's economic and development policies. These are just a few examples of Traore's efforts to grow local industries and break free from foreign influence. The goal is to promote economic development, reduce dependence on external actors, and create a more prosperous and independent Burkina Faso. These reforms have sparked debate and criticism, with some arguing that they're too radical or nationalistic. Others have raised concerns about the potential impact on foreign investment and relationships with international partners. However, Traore's supporters argue that these reforms are necessary to promote economic development and reduce dependence on foreign powers. Despite the challenges, Traore's government remains committed to its vision for a more prosperous and independent Burkina Faso, with its focus on promoting local industries, reducing foreign influence, and stimulating economic growth. The future looks bright for this West African nation. Captain Ibrahim Traore is a name that's been making waves in Burkina Faso. Some people see him as a strong leader who's taking bold action to tackle the country's challenges. Others view him as a divisive figure who's undermining democratic institutions and human rights. Traore's government has been working to promote economic development and tackle security challenges. They're investing in infrastructure, agriculture, and local industries to stimulate economic growth. They're also taking a tough stance against extremist groups and implementing security measures to protect citizens. So, what's next for Burkina Faso? Will Traore's policies shape the country's future for better or worse? And what role will the international community play in promoting stability and democracy? The debate around Traore's leadership is ongoing. Some people see him as a strong leader who's doing what's best for the country. Others view him as a divisive figure who's undermining democratic institutions. One thing's for sure, though, Traore's leadership will have a lasting impact on Burkina Faso's future. Let's keep the conversation going. What do you think about Traore's leadership? Share your thoughts in the comments and also subscribe for more engaging content. Thanks for watching.